Hi, welcome to The Shed. In this episode, we're going to talk about different things you can use to solo on Take 5. So Take 5 is by Dave Brubeck, but I'm going to be using the chord voicings that are found in George Benson's performance of this off Bad Benson. So these are the chord voicings that he uses for his funk take on this song. And there's two big sections. You have this big vamp thing, and then you have more of a functional 2/5 based section. So let's look at the vamp first. This is a vamp in E flat minor. So you can use E flat minor pentatonic, which is just the root, the lowered third, the 4, the 5, and the lowered 7. So let me write that in here. So this would be our first section, which is that like vamp. And you could use E flat minor pentatonic. I'm just going to write pent. And that is 1, lowered third, 4, 5, and lowered 7. It's a 5-note scale. All right. You can also use the E flat blues scale. So the E flat blues scale adds one extra note. It adds the blues note. It adds the lowered fifth. So we have 1, lowered third, 4, lowered fifth, 5, lowered seventh. So you can also use that. And that really works because you have a lot of the chords that are in an E flat blues in this vamp. E flat minor 9 isn't in an E flat blues, but you can think about it as an E flat dominant 7 sharp 9. So that would be like the 1 chord. A flat 7 is the 4 chord in E flat blues, and B flat 7 is the 5 chord. So it's very bluesy. So we have an E flat blues, and that's 1, lowered third, 4, lowered fifth, 5th, and lowered 7th. That's how you play the blues scale. All right, and then you can do some different arpeggios here. So off of a minor 9 chord, if you play a major 7 arpeggio off of the third of a minor 7 chord, you get a minor 9 sound. So the third of E flat minor is G flat. So you can use a G flat major 7 arpeggio. I'm just going to write arp for arpeggio. That's one other thing you could do. So if I have my vamp here. All right, so over that, I can play a G major 7 arpeggio. So I played a G major 7 arpeggio, and then I played some blues stuff on the way down. It totally works. George Benson would definitely do that. Another thing you could do is a concept that I call stacked thirds. So we could play stacked thirds here. Stacked thirds. So I'm going to take stacked thirds starting on E flat. I'm going to do E flat, G flat, B flat, D flat, so that's root, third, 5th, and 7th of a minor 7th chord. Then F, which is the 9, and then A flat, which would be the 11. So root, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, and 11th. And if you really want to, you can grab the 13th up there. But that works. That's something that George Benson would play. All right, so that's this first section. That's the vamp section. Now let's take a look at the functional section. So I'm going to write about the functional section too over here. So we have a minor 7 to a dominant 7. If we were to boil these down, it would be minor 7 to a dominant 7, which is a flag, a red flag that it's a 2/5. These notes are also 1/4 away. So this is a 2/5. This is a 2/5 in G flat major. So this is G flat major right here. I'll write that in blue. So you have G flat major. So you could play a 2/5 lick, a 1 measure 2/5 lick in G flat. Then you have a B minor 7 to an E flat minor 7. Both of those chords are in G flat major. This is 2/5, this is 3, and this is 6. And that's 2/5. So you can play G flat major for this entire thing. But if you wanted to get more of a bebop sound, if you wanted to have more movement to your changes, you can make this E flat minor 7 a dominant 7. That's one of the rules of substitution, is you can make any chord a dominant chord. If you make this a dominant chord, this is a 2/5 in A flat major. And that's totally up to you. I mean, you could just play G flat major here, but this is a 2, and this is a 5. And then you could play a 2-5 here. Again, we get some more movement. Or you can just play it as G flat major. So I'm putting that in parentheses. So it's G flat major for this entire thing until we get to here. Now, when you have a minor 7 flat 5 to a dominant 7 flat 9, that's a red flag for a specific type of 2-5. That's a minor 2-5. F to B flat, that's 1/4 away. And 1/4 up from B flat, that'll tell you what your 1 chord is. 1/4 up from B flat is E flat, and that would be E flat minor. So in this measure, you need to be able to play E flat harmonic minor. Now the one note that's different in there is a D natural. So it needs to have a D natural, and that's the 3rd of this dominant 7 chord. And that's going to really bring you back to this section. That's kind of a turnaround. So let me play some 2-5-1s, some really stock 2-5-1s that just outline these changes. So I have my A flat minor 7 to my D flat 7 to my B flat minor 7 to my E flat 7, and then I have the same thing again. And now I have my F minor 7 flat 5. And on this dominant 7 flat 9, to get a really nice dominant 7 flat 9 sound, you can play a fully diminished arpeggio. So on this chord, you can play a fully diminished arpeggio. Okay. And that's how to solo on take 5.